Welcome to the Crime Vault. I don't think people understand the chilling reality of what happened on the early morning hours of May 1st, 2010. The silence that hung heavily in the air was about to be shattered by an unexpected and unsettling event. Shannan Gilbert, a 24-year-old escort, was last seen alive in Oak Beach, a secluded Long Island community. She had been working that night, unaware of the fate that awaited her. Her disappearance, initially treated as a missing persons case, would quickly spiral into a chilling mystery that would captivate the nation and draw intense media scrutiny. The quiet streets of Oak Beach held their breath as days turned into weeks and the search for Shannan intensified. Volunteers joined the search parties, combing through every inch of the area. Little did anyone know that her disappearance was just the tip of a horrifying iceberg, hinting at deeper, darker secrets lurking beneath the surface. The investigation into Shannan's disappearance seemed routine at first, but the trail grew colder with each passing hour, leaving detectives grasping at straws and the community in a state of growing unease. The first crack in the case came in the form of a frantic 911 call. Shannan, her voice trembling with fear, could be heard pleading for help. "They're trying to kill me," she screamed into the phone, her words echoing through the emergency dispatch center. The call, lasting over 20 minutes, painted a terrifying picture of a woman in fear for her life. Shannan's cries for help sent chills down the spines of seasoned investigators, the raw terror in her voice impossible to ignore. While the search for Shannan Gilbert continued, a gruesome discovery would rock the small community of Oak Beach. On December 11th, 2010, a police officer and his cadaver dog were patrolling a desolate stretch of Ocean Parkway. They were not looking for Shannan. They were searching for another missing young woman, Melissa Barthélemy. Instead, they stumbled upon a nightmare. Partially concealed in the undergrowth, wrapped in burlap sacks, lay the skeletal remains of 4 women. The bodies, later identified as those of Melissa Barthélemy, Maureen Brainard Barnes, Megan Waterman, and Amber Lynn Costello, were all in their 20s and had been reported missing months earlier. The discovery of the 4 bodies on Ocean Parkway sent a collective shudder through Long Island. The term serial killer was whispered in hushed tones, a terrifying possibility that no one wanted to confront. As investigators meticulously combed the area, they unearthed more horrors. Over the next several months, the remains of 6 more victims were discovered, scattered along Ocean Parkway. The victims, all women, shared a chilling similarity. They were all petite, white, and involved in sex work. The hunt for the Long Island serial killer had begun. The once tranquil beaches of Long Island were now synonymous with fear and dread. The specter of the Long Island serial killer loomed large, casting a dark shadow over the community. The investigation dominated the news cycle, every new development dissected and analyzed. The case became a macabre obsession for some, a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface. As the body count rose, so too did the pressure on law enforcement to find the person responsible. If you found this story compelling so far, please like, subscribe, and share your thoughts. in the comments below. Your support helps us bring more stories like this to light. While the discovery of the 10 victims on Ocean Parkway sent shockwaves through Long Island, investigators grappled with a perplexing question. Was Shannan Gilbert's disappearance connected to the serial killer, or was her case a tragic coincidence? Her body was found in a marshy area near Oak Beach, a considerable distance from the burial sites along Ocean Parkway. Adding to the complexity of the case was the uncertainty surrounding Shannan Gilbert's cause of death. The Suffolk County Police Department concluded that her death was consistent with accidental drowning. However, Shannan's family refused to accept this explanation and did hire an independent forensic pathologist. The debate over Shannan's cause of death further fueled the mystery surrounding her case. As investigators delved deeper into the Long Island serial killer case, they searched for any connection between Shannan Gilbert and the 10 victims found along Ocean Parkway. While there were some similarities, there were also stark differences that made it difficult to definitively link Shannan to the serial killer. The serial killer had a specific modus operandi, luring his victims from online platforms, killing them by strangulation or suffocation, wrapping their bodies in burlap, and disposing of them in a remote area. Shannan's case lacked this clear pattern, leaving investigators to wrestle with the possibility that her death may have been unrelated to the serial killer's spree. As months turned into years, the investigation into the Long Island serial killer case seemed to hit a wall. The killer, shrouded in mystery, moved like a phantom, leaving few clues behind. However, a glimmer of hope emerged from an unexpected source: the victims' cell phone records. Painstakingly, investigators pieced together the victims' final movements using cell phone tower data. They discovered a chilling pattern. Many of the victims had received calls from burner phones. The cell phones of the victims, once tools of their trade, became silent witnesses, their digital footprints leading investigators closer to the killer's hunting ground. The breakthrough in the case came in 2023, over a decade after Shannan Gilbert's disappearance. The investigation suddenly sharpened its focus on a single individual, Rex Heuermann, an architect living a seemingly ordinary life in Massapequa Park, Long Island. Heuermann's name first surfaced on the investigators' radar through a combination of factors. His physical description matched witness accounts of a man seen with some of the victims before their disappearances. Cell phone records revealed that Heuermann, or someone using a burner phone linked to him, had been in contact with several of the victims shortly before they vanished. With Heuermann emerging as a prime suspect, investigators worked tirelessly to build a case against him. They conducted surveillance, interviewed associates, and followed every lead they could find. They meticulously combed through his trash, hoping to find a piece of evidence that would definitively link him to the murders. Every piece of garbage was scrutinized. Their persistence paid off in a seemingly mundane but ultimately crucial piece of garbage: a discarded pizza crust. The DNA extracted from the pizza crust matched DNA samples recovered from the remains of several victims, providing a critical breakthrough. This crucial piece of evidence, combined with cell phone records and witness testimony, painted a damning picture. It was enough to secure an indictment against Heuermann, bringing the case one step closer to justice. In July 2023, after months of investigation and mounting evidence, Rex Heuermann was arrested and charged with multiple counts of murder, marking a significant milestone in the case. As investigators dug deeper into Rex Heuermann's life, they uncovered a chilling dichotomy. On the surface, he was an unremarkable figure, a husband, a father of two, and an architect who commuted daily to his office in Manhattan. He blended seamlessly into the suburban landscape of Massapequa Park, his neighbors describing him as quiet, unassuming, and seemingly ordinary. Beneath this veneer of normalcy, however, lurked a dark secret. Heuermann, it turned out, lived a double life, one that stood in stark contrast to his carefully cultivated public persona. Following Heuermann's arrest, a wave of relief washed over Long Island. The case against him was built on a foundation of circumstantial evidence, forensic analysis, and technological breakthroughs. Cell phone records placed Heuermann near the locations where the victims were last seen alive. Searches of his home and office yielded a trove of disturbing materials, including photographs of the victims and maps of the areas where the bodies were found. The arrest of Rex Heuermann marked a turning point in the Long Island serial killer case. For the families of the victims, the news of Heuermann's arrest brought a mix of emotions: relief, anger, sadness, and a renewed determination to see justice served. They had waited patiently, some for over a decade, for this day to come. Their loved ones, whose lives were tragically cut short, would never be forgotten. The case of Shannan Gilbert and the Long Island serial killer serves as a stark reminder of the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface of seemingly ordinary life. It is a chilling tale that has gripped the nation, revealing the hidden dangers that can exist in our communities. It is a story of loss, of lives tragically cut short, of families forever haunted by the absence of their loved ones. The pain and sorrow experienced by these families are immeasurable, their lives forever altered by the cruel hand of fate. The victims, often marginalized and forgotten, were more than just names on a case file. They were daughters, sisters, mothers, friends. Each had their own dreams, aspirations, and stories now left untold. Their memories live on in the hearts of those who loved them. While the arrest of Rex Heuermann brought a sense of closure, it could not erase the pain, the anger, the lingering questions. The community's wounds are deep, and healing will take time, if it ever truly comes. The case exposed the vulnerabilities of marginalized communities, the often overlooked victims who fall prey to predators lurking in the shadows. It shed light on the systemic issues that leave these individuals unprotected and at risk. It highlighted the crucial role of forensic science, DNA technology, and relentless investigative work in piecing together complex puzzles. The advancements in these fields have been instrumental in bringing justice to the victims and their families. The legacy of the Long Island serial killer case extends far beyond the courtroom walls, serving as a catalyst for change. It has prompted discussions on policy reforms, better protection for vulnerable communities, and the need for more comprehensive support systems. The search for justice is a marathon, not a sprint, often fraught with obstacles and setbacks. But there is hope, fueled by the unwavering commitment to uncovering the truth. The journey is long and arduous, but every step forward brings us closer to a world where such tragedies are less likely to occur.